Hi, second grade. We're back and we're still learning about the three different types of communities and what their features are. So, in the last lesson, we talked about what a community was. So, let's just review. A community is a group of people who live in the same area, such as a city, town, or neighborhood. And remember, we also said that a community is a group that works together to solve a problem and helps each other. So, last time we talked about a suburban community, and today we're going to talk about a rural community. That might be a word you may or may not have heard before, but you might have seen pictures of this type of community. So think about what you notice in this picture. I notice things like a very small road that leads up to, there's maybe a house here, and I see maybe some cows, maybe some horses, and this looks like maybe a barn. So I'm thinking that maybe there's a farm, and I don't see any other houses, just this farm and the house that goes along with it. Oh, so the definition is a community far away from any city with lots of open spaces. Wow, that's just like what we kind of looked at in this picture, right? Things that we noticed. That's a rural community. Or some people say the country. Okay, let's look at this. This is another picture of a rural community. What do you see? We saw farms in the last one, right? And these could be also parts of farms. I see lots of trees, lots of trees. They almost look like they're in the mountains. Houses that are very far away from each other. And in the picture before, there was no other houses around. Not a lot of people. Lots and lots of nature. And small roads. This road, a very small road. Okay, so we just learned what a rural community is. But we also learned last time what a suburban community is. So now I can't help but think about what's different about these two communities. So I've put the two pictures here together for you to really look and think about what you're learning. So here in the suburban community, and here is the rural community. I think that rural communities have much more space and nature around them than suburban communities. Look at all this space. And even though the houses are further apart than in the city, there's still not as much nature as a rural community. Houses in rural communities sometimes also have farms, and houses in a suburban community do not. Rural communities are closer to nature than suburban communities. You can see all the nature in the background. And here in the suburbs, they're much more closer together and much more just houses, not in the country. So let's review. A suburb is a place where people live just outside a city or town. There are lots of houses and maybe just one or two small shops or stores. A rural community, or living in the country, A rural community has a lot of nature and open space, a lot fewer people and buildings, smaller roads, and farms. Well, I hope you can tell the difference between a suburban community and a rural community. And next week, we're going to learn about our third community, urban. I'll see you next time.